even if I don't entirely believe in something, even if I don't entirely feel bright when I do my inhale and then exhale to enter life, even if I don't feel bright entirely, I act as if it is so. And someday it becomes so. It becomes so. You become that which you do. You become that which you emulate, that which you practice. I've laughed at times about this present form, what I'm doing right here. And, what I've laughed about is Tom Hanks, Castaway, Wilson, the volleyball. I'm talking to my volleyball here. You're my volleyball. The breath that sees. And it's almost like giving, Hal, the computer from 2001, or whatever that was, giving him something he couldn't quite solve, occupy his time, get him tied up somehow. The left brain cannot quite fight a paradox. There's not a mechanism in it that it can fight a paradox, because a paradox is a paradox. It's unreachable by a bridge of concepts. And so that's one of the good things about paradoxes. In that uniqueness, there is no comparison. You have a certain life that has occurred, certain people you've seen, and certain experiences, certain of your spiritual seeds. Now, as we share our stories, as we share that which is important to us, we have overlaps and we gain from each other. But each of our stories are unique. That's why this form here is useful to me, is because here my unique story is being applied to practice. It's tried to be conscious to practice. So Shabadin has had that teaching of not thinking about what you're going to say before it comes to you around the circle. And he often has spoken of that in terms of making accommodation. Now, in his own personal story, it goes back to when he went to Shamshur, one of his early teachers, and he was having some kind of business venture. He was hoping to do another one of those little businesses he was doing, and he needed some money. And so Shamshur didn't have money, to give him or anything, or to help him with that, but he gave him a direction, that the answer, he said, the answer for you, the answer lies in the space between your thoughts. And as Shabadin says, I didn't have any space between my thoughts at all. And so he thought about that, or he worked with that, or it kind of taught him for many, many, many years. I don't know how it worked in him, but that's what it is like for seeds, these spiritual seeds. And for me, I've got a few of them that just really work on me, And you've heard them, and you hear them again. The first time I met PreSufiScientist, I was right around 26 years of age, just freshly turned 26. And he was giving a weekend retreat down at a fancy hotel downtown in Cleveland, Ohio. And at that stage in my life, I was into a kind of flow. I was just letting things happen. It was quite nice. So I was waiting around in what's equivalent to the lobby, kind of walking back and forth between where the retreat was to happen and the front entrance. A little bit of walking. breathing. And so I walked out to the front curb. And just as I got there, this car pulls up, stops. Out gets this small entourage, and the hood pops up right in front of me. And it's PreSufiScientist. And the next thing I know, I'm carrying the bags. I'm in the elevator with PreSufiScientist and Taj. And I carry him up into the room. And then something like 18 years later, I didn't get initiated that weekend, by the way. Something like 18 years later, he's giving a retreat in Florida. And I kind of forced the issue a little bit. I don't know. I watched for the car or something. And when he got there, I carried his bags into the little cottage he was staying in. Pure is in a way using the left mind, the left brain, to try to transcend it. And I've experienced this with PreSufiScientist quite a lot. And the way I experience it is I have just enough oomph in my left brain, we'll say, to where I can follow what he's saying. But I have to struggle with it to follow what he's saying. And so I work very hard in following what he's saying, following the thoughts, until it's almost as if my left mind just gets exhausted. It's just tired. It's just worn out. It's flushed out. It's done all it can do, And at that point in the retreat, he's continuing with practices, he's transcending practices. This is definitely not left brain stuff at all, and which is nice because then it's easy for me to kind of let the left brain go to sleep, so to speak. It's had its work, it's worked hard, it's going to rest, and then I enjoy the journey with PreSufiScientist.